don't like to start series, whether they're TV, movies, or books, when they're super hyped up. Because when you start a book series, when it's really hyped up, when you start a movie series, when it's really hyped up, it alters your perception of the movie. It alters your perception of the book. And sometimes it alters it in a good way, and sometimes it alters it in a bad way. So if someone keeps telling you, man, this book is amazing, man, this book is amazing, and you're expecting a life-changing book, and you go read the book, and the book could be amazing, but you've already had so many people hype it up here that when you go read it, you feel let down. And so sometimes with a series, I will wait so that I can have an organic experience with it that is separate from whatever everybody else is saying or all the hype, and it could just be mine.
I can completely understand that. For me, I think it's very important to form your own opinions of things and not just bandwagon, not just be writing that everyone else likes it, so I have to like it too, because then you lose your own voice.
And there's some books that I read that are trendy and are popular. Anna Huang books I love, even though her last couple of books, the most recent book she dropped, I loved. Her last couple of books before that, I wasn't really into. Her last three, I would say. Abby Jimenez, anything that Abby Jimenez writes, I literally eat it up. She has this beautiful way of making like rom-com books that are very emotionally involved. And a lot of rom-coms are just silly and don't have a lot of emotional depth to them, and she has a beautiful way of weaving some very serious issues through her book. And I find it therapeutic a little bit to be like, oh, her and her mom had a fucked up relationship, but I can laugh in these parts and heal in these parts. So I really like that. It just really depends. For me, Fourth Wing is just going, you could catch me in like 5 years and maybe I'll touch it.
Yeah, it's also hard for me sometimes. It took me 2 years to read one book, and it's just, in pieces of it, and just you go through different things, your attention span wanes. And I was like, I'm reading this book, I need to find this book. I finally finished reading it, I think like in February, and it was a good book. It was a long book, but it's just your attention span wasn't there. Your brain chemistry wasn't allowing for it, and you have to give yourself grace. Don't feel like you have to rifle through your TBR list just to keep up. And I think that's what happens a lot with a lot of people who like reading books. Because there's a difference between enjoying reading as a hobby and collecting books as a hobby.
Hmm.
Two separate things. Neither one of them are wrong. Enjoy yourself.
I agree. I've been more compassionate with myself to DNF a book. And just not even worrying about if it's a good reason or a crazy reason or a stupid reason. Like if there's a reason why my brain says this is stupid, I'm not fighting it anymore. I DNF'd the book Nolans, which was crazy. I DNF'd it, and then I made a video about it, and the author who is, by the way, an actor on the TV show The Rookie, he commented on it, and I was like, oh fuck, because I mean, I wasn't mean about the book, but I was
Yeah.
honest. And I feel like I talked about this before, but I don't like books that use slang. If your book says give me a glizzy, I am immediately just.
Oh yeah. I saw a post, one of your posts about that.
Yeah, like and I also struggle with third person right now, although I've been playing with it in my short story series, because as a writer I just want to like flex muscles. And when you play with, even if you don't write in third person, when you play with different perspectives in writing, it just makes you a better writer. But I didn't like it being in third person, and I really couldn't stand the slang, and to me some of the dialogue, which is what a lot of people miss, because when you're in third person you really have to be very descriptive. You really have to use very what's the word I'm looking for? Very natural dialogue, because you're missing that interconnection that you get in first person.
Mhm.
And those things to me were missing, but it's his freshman novel, and I'm hoping that, he did comment and said, well, I should check the end of the book because there is something in first person, and I am going to do it. I'm going to check the back of the book, and I, you know, maybe one day. It's also a YA book, so